All right, it is day 5 and it is Christmas. It's early today. I've got a friend stopping by. Right now I'm just relaxing with my doodliest doodle. Bradster, say hi. Say hello, everybody. He's a little camera shy. Here, I do have a buddy stopping by. He's going to help me get all that gunk off while I do the body work on the 2 front fenders. He's going to work on that, and then me and him are going to sand, hopefully, the bus down to prepare it for paint. So we'll see what we get done. All right, everybody out there. My boy Jared finally stopped by. He's messing around with his motor. Another Honda Civic.
Honda babies. What's going on, man? How you guys doing?
Today, as I said, we got this fender to grind down and fill with fiberglass. We are finishing up the bodywork part on this. We're gonna sand this again with 80 grit, and then we're gonna Bondo over this and then kitty hair it. I bought the polyester it. I bought the chemicals to try to get these stickers off. Jared's gonna help me with that, as I said earlier. Another Honda Civic. This baby's mine. Let me show you a little something real quick that I did the other day with Ross. Pink flamingos on them boys. Florida on them boys. I redid the headliner and that. I'm getting ready to 80 grit all this a little smoother, and then I'll lay one more coat of Bondo, and then from there we'll do the polyester over it. So let's get that started. So we 80 gritted this now. I was gonna re-Bondo it, but I think it's ready for polyester, so I'm just gonna swipe some polyester over it. While that dries, me and Jer over here are gonna get going on the sticky stuff in the back. Stay tuned. Okay, so we got this laid with the polyester top coat. I'm gonna 220 that off. We'll prime it, and that should be a wrap for that. As I said, I got Jared Bear here. He's gonna help me with trying to find out which one of these chemicals is best to take off this sticky gunk that I have not been able to take off yet. So we've got that going on. All right, guys, so I'm gonna start out with the TSP. A friend highly recommended this. He said to get a bucket of warm water to the point where you can barely put your hand in it. Half a box of this, some gloves, and a scratchy pad. Should take it right off. This was the cheapest chemical out of the 3 that I'll be trying. If I need to try all 3 and this doesn't work, so I like to start there. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now the whole crew's here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. All right, so we got it mixed up. I'm gonna put you in hypolapse and get started. So we went with the stripper, the TSP. What do you think, Jay?
I think it was a lot of elbow grease, and it looked like it took a lot more paint off than we expected.
It actually, to me, if I was wanting to, this bus was in like great condition, no stickers on it, and I just wanted to wipe this bus down with this before I painted it, I think it'd be perfect. Wipe it down with this TSP, let it sit, wash it off, and you could spray right on it and paint would stick perfect. But to get the sticky stuff off, it was just a struggle, and it's taking more of the paint than the sticky stuff off, which I don't really want. So now we are going to move forward to the MEK. Another friend recommended this stuff. He works on a ton of stuff. He's really handy. So hopefully this is my answer, and I can get this wrapped up and start seeing. Okay, so I did the MEK. It did not help get the gunk off. It Marv used that to clean it before I sprayed it, or clean it before I put some glue on it, or glued something to that surface. But as far as like eating away at the glue, it did not. The TSP actually did work better than the MEK towards that, but it's still got a lot of gunk on it. Now I am realizing that it's helping enough that if I were to sand it with 80 and then 220, it probably wouldn't eat my sandpaper up much. I've got one more try that it said to use online, and that is lacquer thinner. I don't think it's going to do the job because it's kind of what I believe MEK is. I'm probably wrong on that, but I've used this before to clean things, and usually it is to clean before I spray or clean before I stick a sticker on. So stay tuned. We're going to give it a try, and if not, we're going to 80 grit it, and we're going to 220 it, and we're just going to move on. Alright guys, so we tried the MEK, we tried the thinner, we tried the stripper, the TSP, and it was just a lot of work and it wasn't doing much. Like I said, the TSP would be perfect if you were going to wipe the whole bus down with it and paint it. The MEK and the thinner would be perfect if you wiped it down with that after you use that. You let it sit, and then you washed it, and then painted it. But as for cleaning off gunk, it did not work. We got Jer his first hand sander as a gift for coming out and helping me. And we put 220 on it since he's not really used to sanding yet. It's going to be his first time really working on a car. So I'm kind of training him, and he's helping me with working on the bus. So he's going to go with 220 instead of 80, and he's just going to take his time and sand all the gunk off, and then we'll sand the rest of the car later. He's just going to get all the lettering off. We started here, and man, it went way quicker, right? And
quicker. Yeah.
And at the same time, you're able to get more of the area that you're going to have to sand anyways, because I like to 220 my whole car and then wet sand it and then paint it. So we've got a lot to come. I'm going to actually grab my sander, put some 220 on it, and work with him. The polyester up front has still not dried, so hopefully that'll dry by the end of the day and I can at least get that done and primed. Stay tuned, a lot to come. So I'm going over with the 80 grit. Jer is coming back with the 220 and smoothing that out for me. I did notice that it is gunking up the sandpaper pretty quick, not too bad with the sticky stuff. But if you wipe it down with the TSP, it seems to take it right off. Not completely off, but enough that it's not gunking the sandpaper. It's actually not sticky anymore. It's almost like it hardens it up and it sands right off. So I'm going to go ahead and scrub it the rest of the way down with the TSP just to speed up the process. Alright, so we are wrapping up the end of the day. Me and Jer I 80 gridded the rough spots. Jer came back with the 220 behind me, and then I ended up jumping on the 220 with him, and 220 and everything. We didn't get everything done that we wanted to today, but Jer's going to actually help by cleaning up while I start sanding down that front fender and getting that finished, and then we'll tape everything, prime it, and that'll be the wrap for tonight. So stay tuned. We'll try to get as much as we can. All right, guys. So Jer is wrapping up, cleaning up in the back. We're gonna clean the area, and I'll probably wipe it down with some alcohol and then prime it. I'm gonna use his hand sander to sand a lot of this down. And then I'm going to have to come back over with the block sander by hand. I don't think I'll get to that today. The sun's going down. It's cold here. And tomorrow's my anniversary, so I'm going to wrap everything up and get everything cleaned and be ready. So hopefully I can get this done and get everything primed. Alright guys, so I just took the 220 over this with that palm sander. It did great. It's really the shape that I need. Now I'll take a block sander over it and I'll just go back and forth this way and that way and get the rest of the shape exactly where I want it. I won't do that today. What I'm going to do is wipe everything down with alcohol, tape off some stuff, and just have Jer hold some cardboard for me while I prime all the metal. So that's what we're going to get next. Okay, so we're at the end of day 5 of actually working on the bus. Jared Bear is here with me. I want to thank him for his help today. I really appreciate it. We got most of the gunk sanded off on this side. We primed all the metal spots that were bare. We wrapped up the bodywork on this side where that mirror was. It looked like this before, so we're doing pretty good. A lot of holes to hold those mirrors. So we got all that wrapped up. I haven't started anything on the other side of the bus yet. Just been focusing on one side at a time. I won't be working on the bus for a little while. It's my anniversary tomorrow. So,
happy anniversary, bro.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So stay tuned. If you're feeling the vibe, like, share,
and subscribe.
Thank you.